Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm so happy you're here. And today we're going to go over my July TBR. So what I read in July and what I'm planning on reading in August. So my August TBR. And I do have a TBR jar now. I'm very excited about this. And I actually really like all the colors. It makes me happy. And this is a jam jar. I thought it was perfect for this job. Okay, so I might also talk a little bit about the games I've been playing and all that stuff too. Okay, so for the books that were on my TBR in July, I had God of Wrath that I was buddy reading with Julie Pierre, and we did read this, and I really enjoyed it. I feel like I explained this in my past videos, but the first book from Rita Kent that I read was God of Fury. Yes, God of Fury, and I loved it. And then I read. I'm looking at my bookshelf here. If you're wondering why I'm looking on the side, I think it was Kiss the Villain. And anyways, they're both romances, and I loved them. Then after that, we decided to read like the Legacy of Gods series. So we started with God of Malice and then God of Pain. And they were good. I enjoyed them, but they didn't really compare to God of Fury and Kiss the Villain. Um, so I was getting kind of sad because I like her writing and I wanted to like her like FM books more. But God of Wrath, I really enjoyed. Like a lot. I think I gave this like 4.5 stars or 4 stars. I don't remember, but I really enjoyed this, and I'm excited to read God of Ruin, which will be on the August TBR. It was on the July TBR, but I didn't get to it. Um, I don't really like Landon, and this is his book, so I'm excited to see if I'm going to change my mind about him. So I'll let you know when I do end up reading this. All right, next of what I read in July. So I read Metal Slinger, and I loved it so much that I went directly to Light Wielder. And I loved this duology. Um, I just I loved everything about it. It's everything I'm looking for in like a fantasy romance. The romance was there, but there was a lot of like of world building, plot, political intrigue. It was just like everything I want in fantasy romance, and Rachel Schneider really delivered. So I would highly recommend this duology. And I did like that it was a duology. I mean, I love long series, but right now I was kind of in the mood for something that's not super long, so this was perfect. And I didn't actually know it was a duology. This When I read the second book, I was like, this kind of feels like things could end. So I looked it up and it said it was a duology, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, very happy with this. I also read in July Lived Nourish by Shauna Mine Spence. I really hope I'm saying her name right. She's a registered dietitian. I lent the book to my mom, so that's why I don't have it with me. And it was, I'm trying to read books because for those who don't know, I'm a nutrition student. So I will eventually become a dietitian, and I want to read books about like your relationship with food and just just books about nutrition in general, and for myself, but also to recommend to my clients. So I read that and I loved it. Gave it a 5 stars. It was great. Really dives into like diet culture, and she gives advice on how to eat in a way that you can sustain for the rest of your life, not following diets and stuff. So anyways, I really enjoyed it, and I really hope my mom will read it because I think everyone should be reading it. Okay, so those were the books I read in July. I read 4 books. Normally I read more, but I don't know. Despite having the July reading challenge where I did read a little bit every day, I didn't read a lot. I had like a mini vacation, I was working lots, and I've been playing my games more, so that's why I haven't been reading as much. So the Sun and the Star Maker was on my TBR, but I just couldn't get into it, and then I realized it's more like Christmas, not Christmas, I mean winter vibes. You know, there's snow, and we're in the summer, and I did not feel like reading about snow. So I just put it aside for now. So I'm just gonna read it in the winter when I feel more like those vibes, because I'm the kind of person, I like to enjoy the season as it's here. You know, like yes, I love fall, but I'm not gonna get excited about fall right now. I'm enjoying the summer. You know, so books about with snow and stuff like that will come later. So that's why I did that. And on my TBR was also uh, the serpent and the wings of night. I knew there was an and in there. Um, so that was on my TBR. I didn't finish it. As you can see, I'm not super far into it, but I will continue this in August. It's my first book from Carissa Broadbent, and I really enjoy it so far. And it's been a while since I read a book with vampires, and I'm really digging it. So I'm gonna read that in August, or keep reading it, and I'm very, very excited to keep going. So that's on my August TBR. And so, yes, to recap, The Serpents and the Wings of Night are on my August TBR, as is God of Ruin. So those are 2 books that were on my July TBR that are being transferred to August. So that's 2 books, and I feel like I should add 3 books. So this is where the little jar comes in. So I'm very excited. I know I said I wasn't gonna do a jar, but then my friend Julie Piao, which I mentioned in like every single video, um, she was like, maybe you could try it and see if you like it. So I'm giving it a try, and I think I'm gonna like it because I picked prompts that I'm excited about, and I think that's the most important part. And I think my prompts can't be like too specific, because I like to plan what I read, but I'm also a mood reader. So I have to find like a balance between not having anything like too specific, and still being flexible. Like for example, the Sun and the Star Maker. Like I want to read this, but I didn't realize it was more like wintry vibes. So as soon as I found that out, I just put it aside. So it's all about being flexible and not like imposing anything, you know? Okay, look at all these colors. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna pick 3. So that'll be 5 books, and then whatever else I feel like reading. Because hopefully I'll read a little bit more in August. Okay, I'll go with this one. A dystopian book. Okay, so also, I have way too many books that I haven't read that I need to get through, but I don't have a TBR cart. Well, I have a cart, but it's not just like a TBR cart, because I have way too many books that I haven't read. Oops. So I will bring you along and show you my bookshelf, and we'll do it that way instead. This prompt actually came at the right time, because I was talking with JP the other day about reading Hunger Games series again, because there's the movie Sunrise on the Reaping coming out, and I want to read the book before the movie comes out. But I also haven't read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So I think this is the perfect time to read Hunger Games, and to just go through the trilogy, read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes as well, and then I will be ready for the movie. Oh, yes, and I should read Sunrise on the Reaping. And if you're wondering why I'm looking down there, is because I wrote the name of the titles, because my brain, when the titles are too long, I don't have the brain power to remember those long titles. So, Hunger Games is now on my list. I'm very excited. Okay. Now, another one. I'm gonna go a little bit further. I'm gonna take the pink one because I just grabbed a blue. Okay. A book I think I will rate 5 stars. Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna take you along with me. Okay, I actually just turned my head and looked at my bookshelf, and I was gonna take you along with me, but I already saw what I think I'm gonna give 5 stars, and it's Yesteryear. So I know this has been all over the internet, and I haven't read it yet, and I really want to, especially like being in the wellness space as well. Like I see the trad wives stuff, I see the wellness stuff, so this really speaks to me, and I think I'm gonna give this a 5 stars. So, and I really hope I will. I'm very excited to read this, so I think I'm just gonna go straight with this. That was an easy prompt. Also, I give 5 stars very easily, so that could have been like, that could have gone in any direction, honestly. Okay, last prompt. Okay, I got an orange one. A book from your book of the month shelf. So I've been subscribed to Book of the Month for 5-6 months, and I haven't read any of the books that I've gotten so far. Oops. So I am going to tag you along this time for real, and we'll look through the books I have and see what we're going to read for the month of August. So that's my my book of the month shelf. Well, I have, this is a new shelf, so there's not much on there already. So what I'm leaning towards is this one. So I'm going to grab it and we can read the back and decide. Okay. So it says, well, I'll show you. It's called The Winged Game by Sophie Kim. And it says, know thy enemy. Tessa Cho most certainly does. Once her rivalry with Keon Locke was established, it was impossible not to learn more. Their names were paired together for years in magazines, in tabloids, in commentaries, on social media. At one point, their known rivalry was so intense that when one thought of Tessa, mention of Keon soon followed. It began at that gala, but burst into flames when she broke the first of his national Kerry-Witchet League records, and then another, and then another. He'd been great once, and so had she, but now they're standing off in her garden, one disgraced and hated, the other the absolute laughingstock of the NCL, both very inclined to murder. I'm intrigued. Okay, I'm gonna read the back of another one and then decide between the two. So I picked up the Shrouded Queen. So I'm gonna read, trying to do this with one hand. Okay, I got it. Okay, as a slave to the Ashoran royals, Samira has always known she was expendable. So when the vicious Kald folk attack, she is ready to die as a decoy for her princess. But when she's captured instead, she's forced to impersonate the princess and survive through brutal trials, all under the watch of her dangerously intriguing, shape-shifting captor. Amunet Kada, now queen of Ashura, is on the run following the king's death. With only her guard with benefits, Jassim, by her side, she must evade treacherous allies while racing to contact her father, the god of the underworld. Ooh. Before her long-promised powers slip beyond reach... Oh, I read that with like a suspense, but that was the end of the sentence. While Amunet embarks on a quest through the wastelands, Samira learns the true reason for the attack and unlocks secrets in her past that could change everything. And with threats growing on all sides, Samira and Amunet must decide, who can they trust? I think I'm gonna go with this one. I don't know, both sound really good, but I don't know, I read God of the Underworld and now I'm interested. So I think I'm gonna add that one to my TBR. Okay, so let's do a recap of the books I'm planning on reading in August. So I have The Serpents and the Wings of Night, which I already started. And I have God of Ruin, which I will buddy read with Julie Pierre. Very excited for that. I have also The Hunger Games that I will reread. So that's exciting. It's been like years since I've read it. I'm going to read Yesteryear, which I'm also very excited about. And last but not least, I have The Shrouded Queen that I will read. So I'm excited to finally read one of my books of the month. Please let me know in the comments if you're also subscribed to Book of the Month and have yet to read one of your books. Okay, as for games that I've been playing, I've been playing Palia like usual. I think like if you saw my video for last month, I that's all I was playing. So I played that, and then I think I reached like a limit. I kind of do that sometimes. I like get like super obsessed with something, and then I kind of burn out, and then I have to move on to something else. So I played that. I did go on for the new update just to see what's up. But besides that, I've been playing Dreamlight Valley. So it's been really fun to dive back into Dreamlight Valley. And it's kind of funny because Palia and Dreamlight Valley are like very similar games. You know, they have like the energy bar you have to fill out, you do quests, you can farm on the side and fish and mine and all that stuff. So they have very like similar um, things you can do and gameplay. So it's kind of like I went from just the same game but different characters and quests and stuff. But I've been really enjoying that. It's been really fun, and I honestly haven't played many other games. I don't think I'm trying to. No, I think it was just Palia, Dreamlight Valley that I just locked into. As for shows, I actually did not watch any shows in July. I don't know why. I just wasn't in a show mood, and I feel like we just have so little time, right? Like it's either I'm reading, I'm gaming, or watching a show, and it's kind of hard to do all three. And I was coloring a lot though. Um, I do have my coloring book here. So I've been using this one mostly, and I've been doing a lot of like coffee dates with JP, and we've been coloring and stuff like that. So I've been doing that and gaming, so those have been like the things I've been doing for like hobbies. And usually when I color, I also have an audiobook on, so I get some reading in at the same time. So yeah, it's been mostly playing video games and coloring and not watching any shows. So, and that's okay. You know, sometimes I would tell JP like, "Oh, I haven't been reading as much as I normally do." And she's like, "But you've been doing other hobbies and that's fine. You know, you don't have to reading doesn't have to be like the main thing that you do all the time." I think it will be most of the time because that's what I prefer, but it, you know, I can enjoy other hobbies. So yeah. So that's basically it for July and August. And I also wanted to thank everyone that donated for the Canadian Cancer Society fundraiser to raise money for cancer research. We raised $45 together, and you know, I wasn't expecting much because life is so expensive right now, and just just giving someone like $5 is a lot right now for a lot of people. So I'm really happy with the $45. I appreciate everyone who has donated, and for those who couldn't, that's okay. I completely understand, and we'll see if we can do something like that in the future. So, or something like that again in the future. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if there's any type of videos you'd like to see from me, so maybe like a 24-hour readathon or something like that, or just more reading vlogs, or if you want me to put, I meant to do like a video of showing my plot on Palia. Sorry. So if you're interested in that, please let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, like, and share this video with someone you think would enjoy it. Thank you!